Mark coming off a 5-5 year a year ago, but some good momentum there at the end of the year. You know, winning 4 straight to close out the year. Obviously, you know, that class that we've talked about the last couple of years, you guys have relied upon as far as numbers and experience have graduated. So a lot of the starters, a lot of transition there. So how are things going so far in kind of bringing new guys in?
Well, you're right. We graduated 18 seniors from a team that went 5-2 in our league. So we were really proud of that situation. But I think what it does, it gives us an opportunity for a lot of guys, especially this current senior class, who have really bided their time, been in the program throughout the whole extent of their career, and they know that this is their opportunity as a senior to be able to play, and after getting significant time either as a backup or a JV player, you know, I think they're ready to play on Friday nights.
And the good thing too, you know, well, I mean, with Chagrin, I mean, a lot of these guys, they grow up watching the program. They've seen, you know, you guys go to state finals and go on playoff runs, that sort of thing. You know, how helpful can that be, you know, to motivate them when they get to that level and really want to add to the tradition?
Well, I like to think that the tradition carries on. I mean, we had a conversation with our team this year, just looking at some of the things that we've put up in our locker room, some of slogans of past teams, and if they've been successful, if they won a conference championship or a regional championship, then we've put that plaque up on the wall with that team's slogan. So there's a lot of rich history and tradition going back to, we showed the guys back to 1999. And you know, the first conference championship that, you know, we were able to have since coming on board. So there is a lot of history and tradition. History and tradition doesn't block and tackle for you. I mean, you have to do that. But I think they understand their place and their role in a storied football program.
As far as the CVC Chagrin this year, you know, obviously Perry has a lot coming back. What do you make of the conference this year?
Well, I think it's a great conference. Obviously, you know, Perry has a really good thing going on, and Matt does a fantastic job. They have been very, very successful, and rightfully so, should be considered the top. But you know, that's our goal, is to be in there every week, to give us an opportunity. You know, last year, like I said, I mean, we were 5-2 last year, and we lost to the 2 teams who were ahead of us and played them both very tough. So that will be our motto, is once again, you know, week in and week out, to make sure we're playing at our best and take advantage of those opportunities that we have.
Obviously, the complexion of the CVC will be changing from you know, this year to next year with the 6 new teams coming in, Edgewood and Lakeside joining the Chagrin division. What do you make of the expansion and what it'll bring to the CVC?
Well, you know, I've been involved in the CVC for quite a long time, even prior to Chagrin Falls being at Solon, and we were in the CVC at that time. So I've seen a lot of teams come and I've seen a lot of teams go. And I think the one constant is, you know, it traditionally is an outstanding conference with great schools, great academic reputations, great communities that support their academic programs. I think it's one of the premier conferences on the east side of Cleveland. We're proud to be a part of it, and we'll certainly do our best to hold up our tradition in the Chagrin division.
Mick, coming off a 5-5 campaign a year ago, like I was saying to Coach, I mean, you guys really closed the season nicely there, winning 4 straight to close out the year. But obviously, a lot of graduation loss. Just tell me about competition in camp so far. How are things going so far?
It's been very, very, very good competition in camp. Some underclassmen have stepped up in big ways this year, as well as our seniors who don't have too much varsity time. They've stepped up in big ways. They've been playing very, very well. I'm excited to see what we have going on this year.
You know, like I was saying to Mark, is that kind of true where, like, you grow up in the community and, you know, you see the success that the program's had and you kind of want to add to that once it's your turn?
Oh, yeah. Me, growing up, I had 2 older brothers that played football. One graduated in 2003, other graduated in 2010. One went to the States, so I got to see that. Knowing, like, growing up, seeing all that, you know, the town just kind of like just falls behind the football team when you have those deep playoff runs. It's an amazing thing to see, and hopefully we'll bring it back this year. We're going to do everything we can to bring it back this year.
As far as offensively, what can we expect from you guys? Just kind of the typical Chagrin that we've seen year in and year out?
Yeah, we'll be bringing back a lot of the same concepts, but we'll also added a lot of new stuff that we'll be working in this year as well.
You know, I know you're from track in the spring as well. You know, a lot of schools we see, you know, they discourage football players from doing track. You should go hit the weight room and that sort of thing. But how much does track like help you? Do you find your explosiveness is better in the fall when you come in off of track season?
To be honest, yes, very, very. I slim down usually for track, so like I lose weight and then I have to gain weight over the summer, which kind of stinks. But I definitely feel like way more explosive, learning starts and all that kind of stuff. Being able to do that, coming out of your stance and everything, you're way more explosive. You're able to like run faster. Obviously, I mean, kids are used to that, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, as far as the CVC this year, obviously Perry's got a lot coming back. What do you make of the conference this year?
It'll be a good fight. I'm excited to go against Perry. I'm excited to go against everyone, really. But my favorite game coming back is going to be West G, like always, our rivalry. I can't wait to play against them. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game.
So yeah, like I was saying to these guys, 5-5 a year ago. You guys had a nice surge there to close out the year, but graduated a lot from an experienced senior class. How are things going so far here in camp for you guys?
They're going pretty good. Although we lost a lot of guys, all of us have been competing against those great guys that have been starting for years, for like a while now. So we're really ready. That we feel like we're ready to step up and make an impact and pick up where they left off.
A lot of veteran guys on the defensive side of the ball, as well, guys like, Cole and that. What were the biggest things that you learned from those guys just going against them in practice on a daily basis?
Just like, you got to go 100% all the time, and also like reading keys and all that stuff. Like, they've definitely helped out all the younger guys with that. They've left us in good hands. Without a doubt, like, everything I know is probably from like Cole, Sam. So, yeah.
Like I was saying to these guys, I mean, is that premise true? Like, you grow up in the community and you kind of see what they do and you kind of want to add to it once you get there?
Oh, without a doubt. I remember, like, being up in the stands during all of our deep playoff runs. There's nothing like it, and we really want to make that same experience for all the young kids watching us, too.
What do you make of the conference this year?
It's a strong conference, but obviously we're not going to count ourselves out. Even though Perry's returning a bunch of players, we feel like we can put up a good fight and anything could happen game by game.
So